Jason Chaffetz joins us right now. You know him, Fox News contributor, former House Oversight Committee chair, and guest co-host today on Outnumbered.
Well, thank you. Yeah, one lucky guy.
So, speaking of one lucky guy, now it looks like Michael Bloomberg is he's qualified for the debate. His people say he will be there tomorrow night in Las Vegas. But if you're Michael Bloomberg and you've suddenly risen to something like second place just on TV commercials, do you actually want people to hear you talk?
Well, the strategy of spending, $400 million on television ads is working pretty well for him.
Yeah.
I think it's a total rebuke of the current Democratic field. I think there's a desperation on the Democrats' part. They don't have somebody that can beat Donald Trump. The message on the economy isn't going to work because the economy is working so well. And I think there is desperation out there. But for the first time, he's actually going to have to answer questions and talk about his record. And I don't know that he wanted to qualify for that debate, but I'm glad to see that he's going to have to actually stand up next to the others.
That's a big question. Which of those past controversial comments will he be held to account to answer to? Here's just a few of the clips of things that have been unearthed recently.
There's this enormous cohort of black and Latino males, aged, let's say, 16 to 25, that don't know how to behave in the workplace.
You show up with prostate cancer, and you're 95 years old. Go and enjoy. Have an ice cream. Lead a long life. There's no cure, and you can't do anything. If you're a young person, we should do something.
95% of your murders and murderers, you can just take the description, Xerox it, and pass it out to all the cops. They are male minorities, 15 to 25.
I could teach anybody, even people in this room, so no offense intended, to be a farmer. You dig a hole, you put a seed in, you put dirt on top, add water, up comes the corn.
So in the past, he felt pretty confident, insulting farmers, the elderly, black Americans. Is this going to hurt him?
Yes, it's going to hurt him because he's going to finally be exposed. He can't just hide behind television commercials night after night. He's actually going to have to answer questions about some of the core constituencies that they have to get in order to win an election. He could not be more offensive.
But Jason, if you're a Democrat and you're an established Democrat, you're looking for that moderate. And Biden, they're not happy with what Biden's doing. You're seeing him slipping in the polls. And this Bloomberg is a little bit more, or a lot more moderate than the AOCs of the world.
I don't think so. I look at that entire field, and I think you can say that Joe Biden, the old Joe Biden, probably was, but he's a gaffe machine. I mean, every day on this show, we're talking about the gaffes. All these others, from Pete Buttigieg to these, they are very radical.
But he's a billionaire. He understands socialism's not going to resonate with a lot of his voters.
Yes, that's true, but that's where they are.
But he's a control billionaire, too. He's a nanny state billionaire. He's a I know better than you. So why would he not then use the powers of the government to try to force us all to live?
No, and look at this. On the Second Amendment, I don't believe you can survive politically on the national level being so bad on the Second Amendment. I think that is core. The Bill of Rights is important to Americans, and thank goodness it is.
You've got to figure tomorrow night, though, on the debate stage, the other Democrats are going to go after him because all those clips we've just played, for the most part, they're opposition research. They have been gathered by the other campaigns. They're waiting for this exact moment, and there are going to be more. They're trying to blow him up via clips, and tomorrow night they're going to try to blow him up with those same words.
I mean, how many times have we heard Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren and others rail against millionaires and billionaires only to have somebody essentially buy their way into this position?
Is he charismatic enough?
I don't think so. I look at him and I think of Lord Farquhar from Shrek. For those of you that watch, he tries to pretend to be something, but when you pull him up out of that horse's chair and you see this person here, he's not that person.
Stay tuned for that.
Yes.
All right. Meanwhile, let's talk a little bit about this. Bill Barr has been taking heat ever since the president tweeted about the Roger Stone thing. Now there are something like 2,000 different people who were in the DOJ have signed this petition to have him quit. He's not going to quit.
No, look, this is the deep state being exposed. These people do not want accountability. There are about 110,000 people at the Department of Justice. Roughly 10,000 of them are attorneys. There's one key thing that has to happen here. Most people don't realize this. I was chairman of the Oversight Committee. The inspectors general out there can go out and inspect anything going on in the federal government except attorneys at the Department of Justice. They can look at individual cases, but the one group of people that's exempt are attorneys at the Department of Justice. So there's a bill.
That sounds like a rule written by attorneys at the Department of Justice.
Oh, amazing how this is. H.R. 202, I'll give credit to Cedric Richmond, Democrat from Louisiana, Jody Hice, a Republican, pushed through a piece of legislation passed by voice vote in the House, allowing inspectors general to go and look at these individual attorneys. I think they're scared to death of Donald Trump and Barr and Durham and certainly Horowitz, because they don't want people peeling back the onion, looking under the hood at how these people have operated at the Department of Justice. That's why they're firing back, but now they're being exposed.
Well,
go
yes,
ahead and put your name out there.
Speaking of individual lawyers, one of them that signed this was named in the FISA abuse report. So you've got individuals who are a part of the abuse now signing this very same letter.
I believe his name is David Loftman, and he was involved in the Clinton scandal. I mean, this is a person who allowed Hillary Clinton's senior legal people to sit on this so-called interview of Hillary Clinton. I mean, it's so incestuous. It's so wrong. It needs exposure, but thank goodness Donald Trump is there, because that is what's happening. The swamp is being exposed.
Well, and we were talking to the judge a little while ago about the Roger Stone case, and when you look at, generally it would be infraction that would wind up 3 or 4 years in prison. But these guys, the 4 prosecutors who supposedly strong-armed the U.S. acting attorney for D.C., they jacked it up to 7 to 9 years. It looks like they were out to get him.
It is the recommendation. I thought it was totally wrong. They tend to forget that the constitutionally elected officer in charge of the Department of Justice is the President of the United States, and the Attorney General can weigh in. And how they forget about the Obama administration weighing in on very cases that I was working on, that I was pushing on, like the IRS scandal, where you had literally 300 or so groups that were denied their First Amendment rights, and you had Barack Obama personally on television weighing in. How they forget about those types of things. So I can sit here for hours and list off the times the Obama administration did things that were far worse than anything we're talking about today.
What can be done about what feels like a two-track system of justice, where if you're a Republican, if you're a Trump supporter, we're coming after you. If you're on the other side of the ledger, ultimately it seems you can do no wrong. Well, your intentions are always
this
pure.
This is the point about Lady Justice, peeking under that blindfold. One is, I hope the judiciary, they actually do something. The FISA court can hold those people accountable right away. I do hope the judge in this Roger Stone case will look at the jury foreman, an attorney who was out there tweeting and putting things out about Donald Trump and his organization. There's no reason why she can't go back and look at that bar license, bring that up, perhaps do another case. But in terms of justice, I really do worry, because look at all the times the Inspector General has made recommendations. The director of the FBI, the deputy director of the FBI, the deputy assistant director of the FBI, all recommended for prosecution. Right. Nobody willing to go after one of their own.
Judge Napolitano was talking about that. The foreman, she's an attorney. She should have mentioned that.
She should brought up before the bar, and she should lose her law license.
You are describing what people refer to as the swamp.
Yes.
Alive and well at the Department of Justice.
Well, it's being weeded out. This is part of the painful part. But I got to tell you, these people need to be prosecuted. How about the person who actually changes the documentation to obtain the FISA warrant? There's no reason why they couldn't be charging that person right now here today. I hope that happens sooner rather than later.
Real quick exit question. In Utah, your home state, Republicans are talking about trying to get rid of Mitt Romney as the senator after the vote to impeach the president. What's going to happen?
I thought what Mitt Romney did was wrong. I thought his approach was wrong and his conclusion was wrong. I guess what I try to tell people is I'm buoyed up by the fact that there are 250 Republicans between the House and the Senate. One of them got it wrong. The 249 got it right. Unfortunately, he's from Utah. I think he will get some pushback there in Utah, and I think he should, because I think his approach was totally wrong.
All right.
So you don't think he'll ultimately be removed by this?
No.
Bloomberg's going to be in Salt Lake City for a rally tomorrow night.
Oh, can't wait.
Tomorrow night's the debate, and then it's Thursday night.
Wait, maybe Mitt Romney will join him on stage.
Never know.
There you go.
So.
Thank you.
They could be a pair.
Very good.
All right.